Hello there. Now in today's workshop we're going to be making this gorgeous tree ornament which I've called Lucerna, which I understand is the Czech Republic word for lantern, because I've already got a lantern pattern. Apologies for any Czechs out there for my pronunciation, I'm guessing. Okay, now we've got these lovely little sparklies, drop beads, bicones, rivolis. Okay, I'm doing this one in pink, but we do have a variety of other colours, and in your pattern sheet you'll also see further instructions for mixing colours, 2 main colours or 3 main colours, but you can also do whatever you prefer of your own colourways. Okay, so before we start, I'm just running through the beads that we're going to be using. First of all, our main colour. I'm only using one main colour, by the way. DB625 Silver Lined Dyed Rose Alabaster. It's a lovely finish, not too bright and shiny, so it will just look good on the video. That's why I chose that colour. So it's going to be pink, the same as your diagrams. And then for the highlight colour, it's DB22 Metallic Dark Bronze. Now it's just going to provide us with a bit of nice contrast. It doesn't have to be that strong for whatever colours you use. Okay, now we've got size 11 seed beads. For the fringe, just use something that matches. This happens to be Silver Lined Rose Alabaster. Also Miyuki and a bronze size 11 seed beads. It's just for the fringe, so don't be too fussed over which ones you're using. And then we have some crystal bicones, also for the fringe, just to add a little bit of sparkle. And you can use whatever you want. You can use drop beads, you can use these fire polish faceted drop beads, or daggers, whatever you like, whatever you prefer. Pearl drops, anything, but I'm using these faceted drops. I think these are 8x5s, but you can use whatever size you want. It's up to you. And again, a little decorative bead just for the very top. This is a fire polish 8mm, but again you could use a rondelle, a pearl, or one of the Shambhala type beads. And finally, your rivolis. 4 14mm rivolis. These are Chinese ones because I use a lot of rivolis in working patterns out and whatnot, and if I damage them, doesn't matter. I wouldn't like to damage a Swarovski. Too expensive. So I'm using these, but they're really, really pretty. They work well with the colours I'm using, so I'm going to carry on with this. Okay, so now we're ready to go. So we need our thread. I'm using Nanofil, which is 0.15mm. It's roughly about 6 pound strength. Of course you need a needle, okay, obviously, and so thread your needle with a good comfortable length of thread. You're going to need a stop bead. Now in this instance I'm using a size 8 that would just happen to be hanging around. Okay, so a slightly larger, more contrasting bead. Pass through the bead, leaving a few inches of tail thread at the end, and then just simply pass through it again in the same direction. Okay, like so, and just tighten that thread around it. It just slides down the tail easy, but your beads won't fall off the end. So now we've got our beads ready. Our A beads, which in my case is bronze, and the pink B beads. That's your main colour. Okay, and we've got our stop bead added. We now need to pick up 4 groups of 3A and 11B. So it's 3A, 11B, 4 times on your thread. Okay, and we pass through the first 3A once again, Okay, so we pass through the first 3A again to form a circle, and then we're going to start our peyote. Now this is actually forming rows 1 and 2. Okay, every alternate bead is row 1 and in between them is row 2. So we're going to start with row 3 or round 3. So we pick up 1A, we skip the next B, and we pass through the next one. Like so. It looks a bit messy for the first few beads. Pick up a B, skip the next B, pass through the next one. Pick up a B, skip the next B, pass through the next one. Okay, and then you can start to see 3 very distinct rows forming here. Okay, and pick up a 4th B for this side, pass through the next one, and then an A, and pass through the first of the 3 in the corner, just the first one. Then don't pick up a bead now, because we need to decrease. So we're going to go without picking up a bead. We'll pass through the 3rd of the 3 in the corner, because we are forming a corner. And pick up 1A, skip the first B, pass through the next one. Now as we pull that tight, we nip the corner in, and we have our first straight edge and 3 very distinct rows forming. Let me just get this closer, as close as possible. Okay, and we have 3, 1, 2 and 3 across the diagonal. Okay, always 3 very distinct rows, and that's how it works. The beads actually shift into place to form those 3 rows. Okay, now we continue down the second side, just the same as we did before. We've added 1A already. We add 1B, skip one, pass through the next one, a second B, skip one, pass through the next one, I've got twisted around here, a third, and the 4th one. Then finally from this side is an A, passing through the first of the 3A, and without picking any beads up, pass through the 3rd of the 3A, and then 1A to start the row on the next side. Okay, and again just pinching that corner in by just pulling it tight. You've got the square beginning to form. Okay, now we'll continue around all 4 sides, and we'll catch up when we've completed this. So as we place the last B in the last side and add the final A, passing through the first of the 3 in the corner. Okay, skip straight across the corner into the third one. Now this gets a bit tricky because I like to try and keep it on the inside. All right, yep, we've got that. And step up through the first A that we added in this round. Okay, and then we can pull this a bit tight to show. There we have a square. Kind of. Okay, it will sit a lot better as we go along. And what we're doing, we're working from the outside in. Okay, so we're working on the inner rows, so we're decreasing as we go. Now the next round, round 4, it's very similar. Is 1A in the corner, or at the start of the row, sorry. 3B along. So remember, we're working on the inside beads. Like so, 3B and then 1A, and again we skip right across the corner to the next A that we added in the last round. Don't add any beads, and don't worry about any thread showing because they won't. Okay, and that's 1A, 3B, 1A along each side. Okay, so we'll come back when we've completed this round as well. So once again, the third and last one in the final side, working on the inside beads. The last A, I'm just trying to avoid the tail thread here. It will get in the way a little bit. Okay, and we go straight across the corner like so, making sure that we pass through the right bead, and then step up through the first one you added in this round like so. Okay, and it's looking a lot neater already, a lot more like a proper square. This tail thread is going to become a bit of a nuisance, but you need to keep it for now. Right, now the next row is slightly different. We're going to be putting 4B along the sides, not A. 4B, like so. Okay, and now you're at the corner. You put 1A in the corner, passing from 1A to the next, adding 1A in between. Okay, this keeps the tension right for your corner. And another, whoops, another 4B along the side. And again, 1A in the corner. Okay, so we continue like that along all 4 sides, and as usual we'll come back when that's completed. Here we are with our last B bead, if I can pick it up, in the side, passing through the A in the corner, pick up an A, make sure you pass through the A, not the B, like so, to get that last one in the corner, and step up through the first B that you added in this round. Okay, and it's turning out really, really nice and neat now. So again, another round. Now we're going to add a little bit of a scalloped edge to this, just to finish it off. So we add a B through the first one. We don't add anything in this next one. Instead, we go through, pass through the bead behind the gap where you would have placed a bead. Let me just get this in focus for you. Bring it right up. There we are. Okay, can you see that? So we're passing through the bead behind where you would have added a bead ordinarily. So we're going to skip that one. And then add another B between the last 2, again, like so. Okay, and it's forming a little bit of a scalloped edge. You'll see it better when I've completed this. Okay, now we go across the side, across the corner, adding 1A in the corner. Looks a bit loose. Again, add 1B between the first 2 up beads, skip 1, so pass behind it and up through the next up bead, add 1B to create a little wavy scalloped edge, and an A in the corner. Okay, and again we do this all the way around, so we'll finish off the other 2 sides and come back when it's done. Okay, so we're putting the last B into the final edge for our scalloped edge, and the A across the corner. And that's one side of our bezel completed. Okay, so you've got a nice little scalloped edge, pretty scalloped edge. This is actually going to be the back, so if you don't want to do the scallops along the back of the bezel, it's fine, don't. Just add beads right across, don't skip that bead, add 1. I like to do it on both sides, it's secure enough. Now we need to be exiting a corner bead, this A here. So we need to weave through the beads, okay, and continuing in the same direction, just weave through the beads, following the thread path, going through all these 3 diagonally, so I can do them all in one go. And then we work our way down these A beads at the end of the row, diagonally, one at a time, until we can exit the corner bead. And then we're ready to do the second side of our bezel, and we'll also be putting on a new foundation row. Okay, so once you've weaved through the beads to exit this corner A here, we'll be ready to carry on.